So this video, I just wanted to share a bit of a story. How it's crazy, really, how God works. And um, so really, it started off. My wife and I were having a conversation about relationships and around a few things that have been going on, and that just prompted my thinking. I started to think about that a little bit more about how I needed to approach my relationships, how I could be better at reaching out to other people and being a better friend, a better sibling, a better son. Um, and so I was thinking about that, and then I usually listen to um, the same. So Craig Groeschel, his Life Church sermons when they come out on my way to work, because I've got quite a reasonably long drive to work, so I like to listen to those sermons. And um, the the sermon just, it talked about having this desire for God um, to seek after Him and spend time with Him, and among many other things. But it really resonated with me, because it made me realize, wait, really, I just need to spend time reading the Bible. I need to spend a bit of time with God, because he shared a story in his life where um, a time where he was at a low point spiritually was when he had stopped praying to God by himself. He would pray out loud with other people, but he never spent time by himself with God, and wasn't reading the Bible for himself. He was doing it to prepare sermons, etc. And I found myself in a similar situation. I'd had a period of probably 3 or 4 weeks of not even opening my Bible or going to read it, and not spending a lot of time in prayer. And so I decided, right, tonight I really need to just read my Bible, open it up, have a look. And so, yeah, as I was doing that, I thought, well, I don't really know where to start. I haven't read in a while. Do I continue on from where I was reading before, or do I start somewhere new? And I just thought, you know what, today, because I haven't read in a while, I'm going to start off with a smaller book, and I chose Philippians, and I flicked through it, and I came to chapter 2, and a verse in there that was talking about relationships, and how we should spend our time with other people, putting ourselves second and thinking about other people's needs above ourselves. And then it got me thinking about our relationships, and how Jesus spent his time on earth, and how he spent his time investing in the relationships around him. And so, yeah, as I was thinking about that a little bit more, I was looking for something else to listen to on my other car trips to and from work. And the next day, I was listening to a video focused on the family, and again, that just was more about relationships, and how Jesus spent his time on earth, and how he walked and talking about this concept of um, all people being a masterpiece. And sometimes we're muddy on the outside, got scratches on the surface, but deep within us we've got this absolute masterpiece, and sometimes we might need a bit of cleaning up on the outside, and to bring out more of this masterpiece. But each and every one of us was beautifully designed by God. And this answered a few of the questions I'd been having, and made me think about that more carefully, but it also brought me to a few more questions as well. And then again, I was looking for something to listen to, and one of the local churches nearby, they record their sermons, and I hadn't listened to theirs for a while, and I decided to listen to that. And again, it was on this same same topic but coming from a different angle. And it just amazed me that this again and again, when I was seeking answers, and I know that this doesn't happen all the time, but this time God chose to reveal himself this way to me. And yeah, so this sermon talked about our relationships with other people and how we can how Jesus spent his time on earth relating to other people. And then comes to last night, and I went to read my Bible before bed, and I'd left my Bible in the car, and I said to my wife, I said, "Oh, I've left my Bible in the car." And I was planning on doing some Bible reading, and she said, "Oh, do you want to use my Bible?" Because she had it by her bedside table. And so she got it out, and I opened up, and she said, and then this led to a conversation with her, and she said, "Look, I really should be reading the Bible more myself." And I was thinking about it because she was in hospital last week, and she said, I was thinking in hospital, just I honestly can't remember the last time that I prayed, or I can't remember the last time that I read the Bible. And so we had this amazing time last night for the first time in a long time, where I just said, "Do you want to read a bit together?" And so yeah, we then read that passage that I came across a few days before, and I just sort of reflected on what I'd been thinking about and what God had been showing me. And we had this really amazing conversation, and she was reflecting on some of the on her own personal things that she had been revealed to her, and she felt like she needed to work on. And yeah, we just had this really, really amazing conversation, and it just, I felt, brought us really close together in that time. And we ended up praying together, and just, I think that definitely didn't happen by accident. That series of events leading up to each other, one after the other, there is no way that is all coincidence. And I just think that's amazing, and as a story I wanted to share, because quite often we easily forget the ways that God decides to reveal himself to us, and we sometimes are looking for signs or whatever it is. But for me, this was a clear-cut example of just the goodness of God, and how he chose to reveal himself to us in a time where we were probably, fairly distant from him and not as close as we'd like to be. So anyone who's watched this, is there any situations like this that you can think of that might be similar or even completely different, where it's just God's love and God has been revealed to you? Let me know. I always love hearing other people's stories. And yeah, thank you for watching.